Hi, welcome to Conversion Conversations. This is Cameron, and today I'm taking a look at Transformers Generations Legacy Evolution. I believe this is the first Legacy Evolution figure I'm looking at. It's hard for me to tell the difference between Legacy and Legacy Evolution, but we've got Legacy Evolution Lio Prime from Beast Wars 2. I call him Lio Convoy because that's what I knew the character as. But yeah, it's a Voyager class Lio Prime. One of the figures I was most excited about the first wave here, him and Tarn, both Voyagers. And let's get into it. He is a muscular but like lithe looking lion. I appreciate the reimagining here of kind of maybe a little more realistic lion structure compared to the original toy. We do have an articulating mouth. No paint or anything here, which I guess makes sense. It's white plastic, it's just the nose. I would have appreciated some sort of paint on the eyes. I know in the original cartoon he had like anime eyes, and the toy has that, the original toy, and I think the Masterpiece toy does. But here maybe something else instead of the gold. The dull gold plastic is one of the complaints I have about this figure. If we look along the back, you can see this painted gold. It's gold painted on top of white plastic, and it looks so good. And then everywhere else is this like dull mustard gold, and then you got, nice gold on his claws again. So that is one of my complaints. I would have liked a more shiny gold throughout the figure, and maybe that would have worked better on the eyes, or just like blue eyes or something. It's supposed to be, right, a modern reimagining. But yeah, we've got a lion. The lion head doesn't articulate. The mouth doesn't open a ton, but it can open a little bit. We do have forward and back on the paws. You can cheat, and if you separate out the transformation joint, you can get a little bit of extra wiggle, but not really a ton. But that is requiring you to undo this tab. You do have a little bit of wiggle because this is kind of a ball joint. You got some twist here. So, if you want to get him like moving forward on his front legs, you can kind of get that. But you can't really get like a side swiping action, which is unfortunate. The reason is because they have this blade gimmick, which is from the original toy. I would have appreciated if this had been shortened. Maybe the blade wasn't quite as long and the hinge was somewhere up here, and that allowed them to get some ankle twist in or something on the front paws. That would have been nice. Nothing on the torso. And then on the back legs, we have some pretty good articulation. The hips can go back. They can go forward that far. You can twist at the thigh. You can break things out into, if you want to separate out this knee joint, but you can also get it squeezed back there. I like that shape right there. And he does have, because they also double as his robot feet, he does have a twist here and ankle tilt. So, like, surprising articulation on the back legs that it just doesn't match on the front legs. And that is kind of my second point of disappointment about this figure. And this is all pretty minor stuff. Overall, I'd say I'm pretty happy with it. But yeah, in lion mode, I think he looks pretty darn good. Let's compare him. I do have a Lio Convoy to compare him to. Here is the original Beast Wars 2 Lio Convoy. When I say original, I'm lying. This is actually Shining Lio Convoy from the movie. And here you can see he's got like beautiful anime eyes. Look at that. But yeah, if you compare the two, you can see kind of the anime take versus, like, maybe I guess you'd call it realistic. I don't know if you'd call that realistic. But in terms of articulation here and shape, I think like this is such an improvement here. That I don't have the Masterpiece figure, but this line right here looks wonderful. This definitely looks like a toy lion. It's still like majestic in its own way. And obviously this one comes with like additional play pattern stuff. We can see the claws down here that we're mimicking, but we also have these flip out launchers. Oop. Get that on that side. And then up top here, I think there's supposed to be launchers up there. But yeah, get those out. And then here on this Lio Convoy, that equivalent play pattern. So we can see that there, and it does fire. That's kind of an anemic firing mechanism, isn't it? Let's see this one. Okay. So, he does that. This guy has no firing mechanism, but he does mimic that in that you can flip out these blasters up top. So there you go. That's a neat little homage to the original toy. But as is, it's smaller. I mean, I think this was called an ultra class figure back in the day. You can see kind of how they line up. Definitely more mass on the old Lio Convoy, but this one looks better for sure. I like that lion mode a lot better. We'll get him out of the way. The only other one I think I want to show in beast mode, I think, is the Kingdom Optimus Primal. Here's how these two Voyagers look next to each other in alt mode. In beast mode, I think they look really good next to each other. I do have a big convoy, but that comparison I don't think adds a ton of value to the review, so I'm going to skip that one. But yeah, this, like, getting these two guys up next to each other, you know, just like in the movie, I dig that a lot. And I think that people that get Lio Convoy or Lio Prime are going to be kind of looking to do some sort of comparison like this on their shelf, or some sort of action pose like that. All right, let's get into transformation. It is a surprisingly simple transformation, a little fiddly at parts. I think we're going to start off on the front end. We're going to lift out. There are some pieces of main that we can lift up out of the way just to give us some clearance. Down here, you can see the robot mode chest. We can split that up, as well as separate out and pull around the arms here. This has a tab here that goes into the side of his main here. Get those out. Drop and rotate around our robot mode head to reveal it. And we can come in on the back, and there's a separating point back here on his lion back that just pulls out and untabs from his butt. This, I guess, shoulder section comes up and out of the way. Same thing with this section, and it has a rotating piece back here that you can, let's see, get that up. Oop. We can drop these little gun pieces out to the side for now. With that separated, you can come in and lift out this back section, and you can see there's a mechanism for the whole thing to, hopefully that's on camera, rotate up and about to the side like so, dropping down the painted gold piece onto his back, forming a little backpack. We can close up his chest here on both sides. Get that closed nice and tight. Rotating forward his lion head as well as his lion butt. That needs to come up and rotate up, and there you got his like constructed shoulder sections. You can come in on his arms, flip out the wrist, flip around the arm, and on the lion foreleg you can flip it and turn it around, kind of folding it up behind him. Same thing on this side. Flip that arm out, rotate the whole shoulder section up, flip that lion foot around, rotate it in, and kind of just leave it hanging back. He does have a lot of kibble. On the legs, we're going to straighten them just on the joints that we showed earlier. They do form a nice solid knee here that clicks into place. Same thing on this side, like so. Flipping out his little heels on both sides. Then flipping around his robot legs. There we go. And flipping around his feet so you get the lion toes pointing forward. And here we've got Lio Convoy all transformed up. And look at him. I mean, he's a pretty svelte looking lion man. We can get that tail folded in so it keeps things out of the way. He obviously has a lot of robot kibble, lion mode kibble on his robot body, but I really like the look of this figure. This, to me, is just a marked improvement over the original. It feels more like it did on the show. He's got better proportions. His shoulder kibble even feels better. His torso feels way more solid than the original toy. We can get in on that convoy head. He does have yellow eyes. I feel like the toy I have has blue eyes, but that might just be his like flash version, his shining version, or whatever you call it. He does have like these, you know, hanging bits on his shoulders. If you like move them out of the way, I feel like his robot shoulders are like surprisingly small, but I think that's just like part of the design. They have to be small enough to be covered up by his like massive lion body pauldrons. And yeah, I think he looks pretty good. A lot of the paintwork gets applied here. We've got a lot of nice gunmetal gray, you know, this darker silver, blues, reds. It's a color scheme that I don't love. I don't like that it just looks like Optimus Prime wearing a lion. I get why he does. It's the way the original toy was, and it's part of the marketing and all that crap. I prefer the other version, the Flash Convoy version, but he still pulls off the paint job that he has very well. That head can twist and turn all wherever you want. That is pretty nice. The shoulders, you do have to bump things up, but he can go 360 on the shoulders once you bump things up out of the way. He does have bicep swivel. He can go 90-degree on the elbow. Because of the transformation, there is no wrist articulation, which is really, really unfortunate. He does have waist articulation. He can do the full splits, which I appreciate. He does have, if you bend it at the right point, he does have a knee joint that goes, you know, 90-ish degrees, thigh swivel. He does have, I guess you'd call that like ankle twist, shin twist, as well as ankle tilt. So you can get him in some neat poses. And he does have, you know, a decent number of gimmicks, especially for a modern toy. I feel like they've really reduced the gimmicks in the line. We got a little bit of paint rub there. That's unfortunate. But you can get his wrist blade out. So you can get that going on both sides from his lion mode, just like the original toy. So that is pretty neat. You can also, he doesn't have the launchers, but he does have pegs, so you can flip out these guns up top. He can hold those in his hands, and I believe this is what they show on the box art, and they call it like Legacy Evolution Play or whatever. It feels like nonsense to me. It doesn't, I don't get like what the gimmick is. It feels like it's a gimmickless line. But if we get these little gold pieces up, and these were, I know they popped out in transformation, but they store neatly in these two tabs on the back, or those slots on the back. But you can get him up and firing all his guns, and all of this is effect compatible. You also can, he doesn't hold a matrix, but you can put a blast effect in his, can I get my nail in there somewhere? There we go. You can put a blast effect in here, so you can have him doing, you know, all sorts of blast effects, which is really neat. And yeah, he looks pretty cool. He's a decent sized Voyager for what we call Voyagers in the modern line. He looks really nice. And yeah, I think, you know, comparing him, we'll bring out the original Lio Convoy mold. Again, shining Lio Convoy, but you can see here, there is a significant difference in size between the two, but this guy is kind of a fiddly little bastard. This, if I pull it up wrong, that comes loose. You can see just like the proportions. He's stockier. He's almost like cute in his proportions. He does a lot more gimmicky stuff. If I fold these up out of the way, will he spin his? Yeah, this is like his big gimmick thing that he has, as well as the launchers and things like that. But if you notice, I have to be super careful with the knees. They are very loose. It's a lot of transparent plastic, which I kind of dig on this toy. It's very ballsy for them to do this. Articulation-wise, the new one is a marked improvement. And I just like these proportions better. I think if they came out with this toy in these colors, I'd 100% buy it and replace this toy in a minute. I just really like the gold and the silver and the shining colors, the flash colors. But yeah, overall, this is a really cool toy. We'll put Lio Convoy in the back. Let's do some more comparisons. So here are our two Beast Wars Primes. Here's how they look together. Again, I really like two different distinct styles, but I very much like how they, look. And I'm knocking guys over. This guy feels like an anime character. This guy feels like the CGI character, but I think they work well together. And I think anyone building their Beast Wars collection, now that you got all the Season 1 toys, add, Lio Convoy to it. I think they look fine, just fantastic. And then I've got two more. If we're comparing primes, we got to bring out the Earthrise mold. So there you can see 3 primes lined up together. Again, I think the style between them is consistent enough that I think he works well on the shelf alongside other primes. The one that I want to test for myself, though, that I haven't actually looked, I do love, and I have Big Convoy. And Big Convoy is a big boy, and I don't like that he is smaller than the original Lio Convoy. Let's bring him back. So this, like, doesn't super work for me scale-wise, but this works for me super, super well. So it's, again, a case of, hey, if Japan does a Flash Lio Convoy, you know, repaint of Legacy, or Generation Selects does, or I think we're getting a Nemesis Lio Convoy, right? We're getting a black repaint already. But if they give us this version, I will 100% buy it, and I'll do a giveaway for this guy or something, because I would be so happy with a new this guy on my shelf. I just don't like these colors. I don't want him to look like Optimus Prime colors. I want him to look distinct, be his own convoy. And to that end, I am doing a giveaway for this Lio Convoy. This is, you know, going to be a giveaway. So, as my giveaways work, down in the comments below, you answer the question of the day. I guess it's really a question of the week by now, but you answer the question of the day. You say, hey, I want to enter the giveaway, and then 1 week from now, I will look at all the answers. I will draw from everyone who answered and wanted to enter the giveaway. I will draw a winner, and I will announce that winner in the next video. So this was the Lio Prime video. The next video will be announcing the winner. And this, the question of the day is, who else from Beast Wars 2 do you want to see? I think the easy answer for everyone is Galvatron 2. Everyone wants to see Galvatron 2, and I agree. I think Galvatron 2 would be an awesome leader class figure, or maybe even a commander class figure. But who else would you want to see? My other one might be Scuba. Is Scuba the name? The squid guy. That's a really cool design that I would love to see as a Legacy, like, deluxe class figure. But yeah, so answer down below, which Beast Wars 2 character do you want to see come out in Legacy in the near future? And then next week, I will answer, I'll look through the answers, and I will draw a winner, and that winner can reach out to me on any of our social media, and you will be the winner of Lio Prime, and I'll get it shipped out to you as soon as possible. That's it for today's video. Thanks everyone for watching, and I'll catch you all on the next one. Bye!